My name's Allison Sieber, and I'm going to be talking to you today about my experiences in the junior livestock auction. I've been participating in the Clallam County Junior Livestock Auction for 4 years now, and it started as a way for me to make money for college. It ended up teaching me what I want to do later in life and where I want my life to go. A junior livestock auction, for those of you who don't already know, is where kids can go and auction off animals. They're usually for human consumption, so they become meat eventually. The kids get the money from these animals, and they can do what they want with the money because it's just like a real business. You work for the money, and then you get the money in the end. It doesn't seem like learning through the whole process, but it really is because you are learning about real life businesses, just like a beef ranch would run or a pig farm would run. You're learning about the health of the animals and vaccinations you need to prevent any sickness. You're also learning about how medications can have a residual effect on the meat that is sold, so you know about not giving a medication too close to slaughter time, otherwise you can make the buyer sick. So let's start with the business side of the auction. We are required to keep track of all of our funds in this particular auction. I'm not exactly sure how it is in other auctions, but you have to keep track of the amount you spend on your animal's feed, the amount you have to pay for vet bills, or any other money you spend on your animals. You need to keep track of so that you know in the end how much you spent versus how much you made. So you know how much profit you've made, and it's just like a real business. You're trying to make profit. So you also need to make your animal grow fast enough to make a certain market weight, which depends on the species of animal which you're growing. Now let's move on to animal skills that I learned. So I learned that animals must be easily controlled by their owners. This is a responsibility of the owner, because if an untamed animal is out in public, which the auction is at the fair, that can be dangerous for people or other animals and isn't fair to the other kids or any other exhibitors that are showing animals if their animals get hurt, or if anybody's walking through and they get stepped on. And showing animals is a totally different story because not only do you need your animal to be calm around people, but you also need them to be trained to be shown properly. And there's different ways to show different species of animals. Now I can tell you about my personal experiences in my 4 years. My first year, I showed and grew my own 2 pigs. One of them didn't make weight, so she was unable to be auctioned, but my other one made me enough money so that the next year's project I was able to pay for on my own and pay my parents back. My second year, I used the money from my first year to buy myself a steer and feed a steer, and that was pretty much what convinced me that I wanted beef cattle later in life. I have a strong interest in that now because of that year. I used the money from that year to auction my 2 pigs from this year that I just recently auctioned in August. I raised 2 pigs, and I also bought myself a breeding heifer that was not auctioned. She's for breeding, so sometime I can start my own small beef herd with her. My 4th year, which is this year, will be my final year in the Clallam County Junior Livestock Auction, and I will be auctioning 1 steer and a pen of rabbits, both of which are my favorite animals to raise for meat. Through this whole 4-year experience, I have realized my goal in life is to learn about production animal science and try to have my own small beef ranch, along with hopefully starting a grain company or working for a feed company and learning more about feeding animals for meat. In summary, I learned a lot in the whole process. I never knew I would learn this much. I'm not from a farming family, so I did not have the past experiences that some of the other kids had. So I learned a lot about the animals. I also learned about the business side of things, how I learned keeping track of funds, raising healthy and safe animals, the laws that you have to go through in order to raise animals for human consumption. I learned that it's a lot of fun for me. I like being around the animals, and it taught me what I want to do in life. This will be my last year participating in the auction, and I hope it's just as fun as all the others. So if any of you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.